Today's topic is using the Fair Credit Reporting Act in your favor. Now, the first thing you need to know is the things that count against you for the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If you like what you hear in today's video, you need to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. For instance, the things that count against you are inaccurate information. So when I say inaccurate information, the first is in essence, you need to learn how to stage your credit report. But that's another video for another time. But inaccurate information are things like wrong names, wrong addresses, job history, things that shouldn't always be on your credit report because it's inaccurate. Because if you don't live at a certain place anymore, then why is it on your credit report? Missing information. If you moved, then your credit report should be updated so you won't have to go fix something. For instance, I lived at 123 any place, but I moved from 245 nowhere. If I didn't do anything there, then that shouldn't be on my credit report. You should only have one address, one job, and potentially one phone number on there. Another thing that should be fixed on your credit report is incorrect balances on different accounts. So if I have a car and it doesn't have the correct balance on there, you need to have that updated. Normally, the company you have the balance with, they normally update it pretty fast, within 30 to 60 days. But if this is 4, 5, 6 months out and it's not updated, it's not correct, this could be hurting your chances of getting, whether it be a home, a new car, or whatever is in your future for what you're trying to get. Incorrect credit limits. This one was a good one for me. Credit limits. So I had a credit card where, for instance, it was regularly, it was one of my first credit cards for like $1,000. And it wasn't updated on all three bureaus. It showed up on, if I'm correct, it showed up on Equifax first. It didn't show up on Experian or TransUnion when they actually boosted my credit limit up out of nowhere. Shocking, but they gave me a boost in credit limit, so it wasn't accurate. Eventually, it did go up, but if you're trying to boost your credit and you're trying to lower your utilization, you need to make sure that is accurate, as accurate as possible when you're trying to do business with different companies. High balances that have been lowered So you want to make sure that balance is correct from, for instance, a car. So you need to make sure that balance is correct. As I said, you're trying to get new available credit. You need to make sure all balances are correct. Charge-offs, another one of my favorites that shouldn't be on there. If it says it's open, why is it shown as a charge-off? That shouldn't be on your credit report if it says it's open and it's a charge-off. That's something that needs to come off or correct it. Not necessarily come off, but correct it. You need to make sure things are correct in the proper perspective. Invalid furniture. So you may have an account with one place, they sold your account to another place, which is something else totally different, where you don't owe that company money because, for instance, you had something with Verizon, they sold it to some other company for pennies on the dollar, which is what happens all the time, which is something that most people don't understand that collection agency, you don't owe them money. You may owe Verizon money, but you don't owe that other company money. But that's something for another video. Account number is inaccurate. You need to make sure, as I said, you need to make sure everything is accurate when you print out your credit report, or whoever you decide to look your credit report through, whether it be freecreditreport.com, annual credit report, Equifax, TransUnion. Another thing you need to know is the date of your last active account, or make sure that your last date of the activity that you used for your credit, make sure that it's correct. Just something simple like that can mess up your number, that your FICO score, if it's not correct. I've seen things that will blow your mind. For instance, had a credit card that it wasn't accurate with the balance. I paid it on time, by the date, but it didn't show up and reflect as accurate. So you have a $5,000 credit card, you paid $2,700 on the card, but it's still showing that your balance is higher than it should have been, but you knocked down most of the balance. Your utilization shows up as high. You're upset now. At least I was. I'm not saying you would, but I'm saying I was upset. I had to wait 30 days to figure out why this didn't. But I called my credit card company and I'm like, why didn't you post this correctly? And they tell me, well, we did post it. I'm like, but you didn't. You need to figure out why this is. And they ended up figuring it out. But I did my part. I paid you on time. You have to make sure that your collection account is listed as correct. Make sure the collection has the right limit on there. Because if it doesn't, then you'll look at your balances and you'll look at all your accounts is not correct. Your FICO score will be messed up. So when you go to look at these different accounts, you need to make sure that everything is accurate. But you need to make sure that you're staging your credit report in the process. So once you stage your credit report, by making sure you have the right accounts on there, making sure that they're correct, making sure you don't pay things late. That's the key to helping your credit.